turned into something that was going to be one of the darkest days of our history.
Laura, it's just incredible, really, when you think about how Republicans don't want the accountability. Where is the accountability for what happened? Why are they willing to move on and, as Anna said, sweep everything under the rug? I mean, but we heard it with our own ears. President Trump wanted to disrupt the electoral count. He wanted Mike Pence to turn it around. He said it all. And guess what? Everybody who went to the Capitol heard him. They parroted it. Even before the siege on the Capitol, they said, we're here for Donald Trump. He told us to march to the Capitol. We're going to march to the Capitol. We're going to make this right. We're going to go try to hang Mike Pence. I mean, they were very clear about their instructions.
He talked about, he told us to come, he told us to be here, and then he told us to go home. They were following almost to a T the instructions that they heard from the President of the United States. And the article of impeachment itself really is haunting, that he is singularly responsible to imperil a co-equal branch of government. I mean, it looked as though, I remember my children asked me, Mommy, is this real? When we were watching it, it looked like there were zombies that were crawling up and scaling the walls of the Capitol. They thought it was a movie, perhaps, and I had to tell them that it was real. But also real is the inability of certain politicians to actually call balls and strikes because of political expedience or political preference or trying to hold on to an office. And what is really the most unfortunate aspect of this is that this started because somebody was trying to retain power, and now an absence of accountability is coming from those who would also like to retain power as opposed to lead. I hope they'll have open minds about this very issue. I hope that they will hear the evidence. I hope that nobody has their minds made up already and that they're receptive to the evidence that will be presented. They're jurors, they're victims, they're eyewitnesses, but more importantly, they're also leaders in this country who have an obligation to be able to act as an oversight, a check, and a balance on another co-equal branch of government. If they're derelict in their duty, they'll not only lose the moral high ground, we'll actually lose the co-equal branches of government system that we actually hold dear.
Look, the future of the party, the future of the country, they are determining, to a certain respect, where we go from here.
No, they don't determine where we go from here. They've only determined what we already know. What already is a part of our existence in this country, right? They want to keep going the same way they've been going. They are. And see, here's the problem. Here's the problem with all of this. All of this could have been stopped by us. But what did we do? You know what I mean? I'll tell you what we did. And this is stay with me on this, because this is not metaphysics. This is just pure practicality. Let's go back to Clinton, Hillary, and Donald Trump. Both sides, both of them did not, according to polls, neither one of them was really popular as far as, you know, everybody, in other words, everybody went to the voting polls like this. Okay? Right? Everybody did. But there was a certain population, okay, that said, you know what? This is our time. This is our chance. And they didn't go to the polls like this. And then there was a part that were like, you know what? Yeah, I don't like either one. And nothing ain't gonna make a difference no matter what I do. You know what I mean? I'm voting it. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just boom. I'm not going to vote nothing. I'm going to abstain, right? In a democracy, okay? And then there was like, you know what, Hillary Clinton, you know what I mean, and Bill Clinton, you know what I mean, war on drugs, and you know what I mean, and welfare women, welfare queens, and welfare kings, and all. Yeah, they remembered all that, and they was like, okay, you know what? No, and I know Trump on his reality show, you're fired, and they thought it, you know what I mean, he'd go in there and just, you know, be a big joke or have fun with it and, you know, get out or whatever. Now, and then all of a sudden, you got this. It was the perfect storm, right? Perfect storm. And those mugs who was hating was like, yeah, you know, enough of them came to the polls and enough of us abstained, right? And then what happened? Boom! Trump. And he got in there. He was like, you know what? This feels pretty good. You know what I mean? I got a couple of niggas on my side. I got these dumb white motherfucking hillbillies up in the hood, up in the mountains there. You know what I mean? I could do whatever I want. Go down Main Street, pop a mug, and nothing happened. See? And see that, and if, let me explain something to you. Good things, bad things don't happen to good people. That's being a child in your spirituality. No, that don't. The universe don't play like that. You stay on, and I'm just talking about the life now, and I'm not talking about being metaphysical because you know we don't do that here. For the most part, if you live a clean life, clean things are going to happen because just by default alone. You're going to be around people that are positive people. There's going to be a sprinkle of some negative people in that positive environment. But for the most part, you know what I mean? Life is going to be pretty good. Right? But none of us really live that kind of life, do we? It's always a little mixture. It's always some negative, some dark place. Yeah, I talked about this yesterday. Some dark place inside you. Some dark place around you that you are okay with, that you allow to happen. And what happens? Your life is like boom. You know what I'm saying? So you change your word, you change your ways, but you know what I mean? You got to answer for that. We as a country got to answer for that. We got to answer for our apathy. And because we didn't answer for it, my son the other day, and see, this is why I do it. My son the other day was watching Free State of Jones. And he's like, Dad, the Civil War. I was like, yeah, man. Come on. Because y'all know a lot of my exhibits are from the Civil War. First page. I could do it from the first page. On the book. Look. See that? Beautiful Civil War book. See that? And look who's cleaning it up. And this is and the people who died of coronavirus, it's about the same number died in the Civil War. Right? Let me read you an excerpt of somebody. I freaking lost that page. But I came to another page, but let me see if I can't find it. If not, I'm not going to take up any time. I'm not going to take up any of your time, but look, okay, but look what happened. Above one, and I'll just read it to you. One of those who found Sumner's words particularly insulting was Representative Preston Brooks of South Carolina. The Massachusetts senator had characterized slavery as a mistress and a harlot, embraced by men like Senator Andrew Pinkins Butler, one of Brooks' South Carolina colleagues, and worse, one of his kinsmen. 2 days after the speech, Brooks walked into the Senate chamber, cracked Sumner over the head with a sturdy cane, inflicting injuries from which Sumner never fully recovered. The abolitionist press made the most of this situation. And There you go. A lot of right there in the Senate. This ain't new. This ain't new. Been happening. Right? Daniel Webster, and I can't find the excerpt in here, but Daniel Webster's from 1780 something to 1852. He lived, and he said something. He said that slavery was he was against slavery, but just to you know what I mean. But as far as keeping the country together, you know what I mean. I guess slavery had to be a necessary evil. Come on, man. This is where we are now. That's where the GOP is arguing now. I wish I could find this because you know what I'm saying. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. That's it in a nutshell. Here it is. I found it. I'll read you verbatim. One of the great orators and statesmen of the pre-Civil War period was Daniel Webster, 1782 to 1852, a New Englander who went to great lengths to prevent disunion in the country. He did not favor the institution of slavery in America, but felt that the possibility of a dissolution, dissolvation of the Union was a far greater evil than human bondage. Right? Here's your and they look a lot like the guys that stormed the Capitol. This is what I'm saying. And you can't. I love it because I can open up anywhere in this book. Anywhere in this book. And I can show you the cause of why we're at where we're at now. That's just one page. How about let me just open up to another page. We already talked about my man. There he is getting hung. What they talk about doing to Mike Pence. And they ain't had enough. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I mean? The 22 or 24 subscribers that we have, you guys already know. And some people say, well, why, you know, the flame, you haven't been... because I'm not in the habit of repeating myself. I already talked about this. And tricknology. In my video Tricknology. I talked about it in other videos. About people wanting to hold on power. And why, you know what I mean? And here's the... And that's why we are where we are now. Our lives are where we are now because of apathy on one hand and hate and activity on the other. You see? And until we come to grips with these kind of things, we as a country, the only way, ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed, not even the weather. Some people say ain't nothing changed but the weather. No, that ain't changed either. It's pretty predictable. If there's going to be climate change, it's going to get hot. If not, the world will live in equilibrium. Planet Earth going to be here long before we gone. Believe it. She going to take care of herself if she got to get rid of all of us. Mess up that ozone layer, and let one of the meteors come right, and we'll be an extinct species, just like the dinosaur. Look, from now on, don't be apathetic about your democracy. From now on, don't be apathetic about your thinking. From now on, don't allow yourself to be gaslighted by people's short-sighted thoughts. Come out of those churches. Come out of these places where, you know, you follow somebody and follow this. Follow the evidence. Follow the truth. Thanks for those who have subscribed to our channel. We are going to be we are going to be making comments about this as the trial moves forward. I'm going to take snippets of it and see if we can dissect it. I like to watch the whole thing, and thank goodness C-SPAN, not C-SPAN, but CNN will do it. I'm still looking to find C-SPAN so we can watch it in a raw form, and we can take these things apart in our own way, in a way that shines the light of truth over all of it. And remember, there's nothing more important than a clear and present BAM! See you next time.